We are going to ask the question whether or not teachers should reconsider bringing naturalism into the classroom while teaching Steinbeck books. Naturalism is the idea that no one is in control of how they live out their lives. Naturalism is a belief that the world is set up for people with desires, hopes, and dreams that society and the culture do not support. This means that the lower middle classes have a hard time getting to become the person that they may hope to be. Naturalism also states that there are forces that people cannot see that are working against them without their knowledge. We'll be looking at Mice and Men and the Pearl. Sarah, who I interviewed, remembered what she read.
So what I remember from the book of Mice and Men is that there was George and Lenny and they're very close friends and traveling around with each other, and they ended up at this farm, and Lenny had learning disabilities, and so he actually also had this thing where he's really into like touching soft things, so he really liked to pet a puppy, but at the same time he's really big and strong, and so like he actually ends up hurting the things that he pets or likes to feel on accident. And so the same thing came back when he was actually felt a girl's dress and felt her hair and realized how soft it was, and he actually ended up killing the girl. So then Lenny and George went on the run because George was trying to protect Lenny from the people that are coming after him after killing this girl, and then George realized that they couldn't keep.
I interviewed 3 people who had read Of Mice and Men in high school who did not know what naturalism was, and explained it to them so that they could understand how that might better their understanding of the book.
Certain writers have the idea of naturalism in mind when they first write their books, and like kind of base it off the fact that that could be something that comes up with somebody's life, is that the way that their life plays out is through naturalism. And so it's kind of like, it could be like a theme for a book.
One interviewee, Ross, says that naturalism is the balance between good and evil, that people can make these choices and change their outcomes of their lives. He points out that George and Lenny could have changed their decisions. They could have gotten this farm if only certain things had happened. However, the naturalistic view, the real naturalistic view, does not say this, it says that George and Lenny were always going to end up this way, that their life was on this track and they couldn't be helped. This could be changed by the way that students are taught about naturalism through the lens of Mice and Men.
It's probably a good theme to like start a book on, it's like normal natural causes is like saying that, you can choose, like you can have the ability to choose what you want, but like not many people think about like just not knowing what you can choose, like right and wrong. So I feel like teachers can like teach younger kids that like you do have a choice to do something, instead of just like that's what you have to do for the rest of your life. Just be in that frame of mind, I guess.
Many of these interviewees did not understand what naturalism was before college. A lot of them learned in college what naturalism might have been, what it might mean for them, and the stories that they are reading. 2 of the interviewees did mention that they would have liked to know what naturalism was when they were reading Of Mice and Men, because then they could have understood better why George had to kill Lenny, why George and Lenny's life were on this path, and why they couldn't get out of it, why they couldn't build this farm with Candy.
I remember reading Of Mice and Men in school, and I honestly don't remember talking about naturalism. I do think that some of the books that we read definitely involved the theme, but I definitely did not know much about it from the school's perspective when I was in school. I think I know more about it now. And I think too, it's just like, I felt like it was trying to be like kind of a realistic book. A lot of books try to have happy endings and things like that, and it's really a book that was like, you'd expect Lenny and George to have that farm at the end of the book, but instead it George gets stuck making a tough decision of him taking Lenny's life instead of letting people from the farm come to, like, torture him or something, you know, or something where, you know, that final outcome of Lenny's life is not what was expected.
We didn't really talk about this in my high school either, but this idea, it seems like, was kind of most books in high school that you kind of read about. You didn't really read any of the sci-fi or the stuff that doesn't really happen. You more just read the stuff that was more down to earth and what actually happens and stuff you can't control and stuff like that. So I definitely believe naturalism is there. It just was never really expressed.
Yeah, it wasn't completely brought to our attention. I honestly don't really remember the main themes. I guess I think if anything, my teachers made it kind of seem more of things happen and things don't always happen the way that somebody could try to plan it out to be, such as George trying to plan out a farm for him and Lenny to live on, but they never could quite make their dream come true.
Of Mice and Men, as these interviewees have stated, is all about naturalism. Learning naturalism helped them understand why George and Lenny ended up the way they did. It helped them grow in learning about the novel and learning about themselves. Teachers can use this knowledge to express how naturalism affects their students, how naturalism may affect their lives, how it may affect their viewing of what happened in the book. Naturalism is taught through the themes that lessons cover anyways, but it is not thought about throughout the entire book. So teachers can either think about it throughout the entire book or put it in those mini lessons that they already have about the themes and motives. Naturalism is throughout every Steinbeck book, whether it is taught or not. So realizing that this system of thinking is throughout this book is beneficial for the teacher and for the student. Ultimately, teachers have a choice to teach naturalism or not, but the benefits of teaching naturalism, from my point of view, outweigh the benefits of not teaching naturalism.